Let's talk a little bit more Mavs.
Okay.
And I do think this person is getting a little bit overshadowed because of the trade.
Trio.
And I'm very excited about what Josh Green is doing.
Yes.
I can't believe how good he's gotten. This
and he plays defense.
I remember, and I thought, gosh, maybe I'm being too hard on this guy, but I don't get it. Then I heard from certain people, too, that they were really disappointed with Josh Green not going to Summer League.
Okay.
Remember, Josh Green decided to go to the Australian team, and he sat on the bench. So this is where he was at. In the summertime, he didn't even play basketball because he wasn't good enough to play on his national team. Now, he's rooting for Patty Mills, and he's getting to practice with all of the Australian players, but he's not good at, they're playing Thibault over him.
Yeah.
The dude who's averaging 2 points and 1 rebound. And I'm like, we better not give up a first round pick for a dude who's played in the league 4 years. And like defensively, you better be freaking Dennis Rodman or Bill Russell if that's what you're going to do offensively. And so Josh Green, his improvement from people going, dude, he's not going to get better. He didn't even go, like, he should have been in Summer League leading the Mavericks summer team and getting like valuable 30 minutes. I know it's Summer League and it doesn't mean like a whole bunch, but you are getting minutes there. And he didn't do that. He's like, no, I'm going to work on my game. I'm going to work with the Mavs coaches and I'm going to see if I can improve my game to actually be a rotational guy. Next thing, I think people forget this, but I get audio from Bally Sports, not all the time, but so audio from the playoffs last year. I think people need to understand what the Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz were doing in the first 2 rounds. When Josh Green caught the ball in the corner and it was near the Utah Jazz or Suns bench, the other team all yelled, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. They thought Josh Green was such a non-factor last year. The whole goal for the defense against the Mavericks in the playoffs was if we can get Josh Green to catch the ball wide open, we have successfully played defense.
Yeah.
And we want him to shoot the 3. Don't go close on him. Don't put a hand up. Let him shoot the ball. That's how they felt about Josh Green last year in the playoffs. From that moment, he's worked on his game so much and has dealt with an injury this year that now these 6 starts, he started 1 game before the road trip and then started the whole road trip, is averaging 19 points a game almost.
And I know I already said this, but I cannot stress this enough. And playing defense. For a team that is defensively deficient in a couple of different spots, I appreciate that as well. And it gets you to the point where now I'm excited about the future of Josh Green.
And so I was talking to Corey about this, is we come to the show really early. We get here about 6 a.m.
What happens when you care the most about the show?
Kevin gets here about 9:40 right before we go on.
I don't even go in the room. God. I don't even know what y'all are talking about with this meeting.
So, because you don't know what we're about to say because we were having this huge meeting on Josh Green for hours upon hours before
There are
the show
frequently
started.
Times I have no clue what either one of you are about to say. That is very fair.
So Josh Green, now that I've made a really good joke, I've totally forgot where I was going with the Josh Green comment. Do you remember what we were talking about, Corey, before the show?
He shoots.
This is it. Is that I wonder this on scouting reports right now. They're not closing out hard on him. Is it because I don't know the answer? Obviously, I don't. You only know the answer if you're on the other teams. 4
answers here. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Are they not closing out on him because the scouting report is don't trust his shot, let him shoot it. We want him to shoot it. And how quick does that scouting report change? Because if I'm facing a guy. And I'm talking about baseball. If you didn't know, as a Major League Baseball player, deal with it.
What?
Is that...
I feel like you didn't.
My name's Mike Bassick, too.
Deal with that.
Don't look at my stats. They weren't good. If I'm throwing to a dude who has, for 2 years, been in the major leagues, and in those 2 years, he has 7 home runs and has a .215 batting average. Yeah. Well, I'm going to check. If I get 2-0, 3-1 on this guy, I've screwed up. I've gotten behind in the count. I'm not going to throw the ball right down the middle, but I'm aiming way more middle than I am corner because how much is he going to hurt me? Now, throughout the season, now his batting average is, let's just say in today's game, .265, and he has 12 home runs right around the All-Star break. That's a pretty darn good player. It's not an All-Star, but that's a pretty darn good player. Yeah. So now all of a sudden, how much do I change going, man, for 2 years, he hasn't been a hitter at all in this league. Now he's starting to show that he is a hitter. He's not... he's not Aaron Judge or he's not like Luka or Kyrie, but and so how much do I want to close out on him in basketball when I'm not 100% sure if this is real or not? And so I think he might still be getting open looks because of that. Second reason he might be getting open looks. When you close out on Dorian Finney-Smith, I know he's not on the team anymore. You close out on Reggie Bullock, who's still on the team, or Davis Bertans. 3 examples. Maxi Kleber being another when he plays. If I make them put the ball on the ground, I've won. Possession over. They can't pass the ball. They can't go score off the dribble for the most part. They are limited. If I run them off the line, they are limited.
At best, they'll sidestep and shoot.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Right, and that's what Reggie Bullock tries to do if he gets closed out on too hard. If I close out too hard on Josh Green, he's going to pump fake. He's going to put the ball on the ground. He's either going to lay it up, dunk it, or create a wide open shot for somebody else. So this is the first guy that we've had off of Luka Doncic that looks like if I close out on him too fast, he will then hurt me by closing out too hard. So I have to be careful on how fast I close out on Josh Green. So that could be another reason that they're still not really closing out on him on 3-point shots. So it's really fun watching his development. And then my next thing is I had a poll that I put up on Twitter, and my question was this, and I put it as a very high bar.
Okay.
What do you think Josh Green will develop into now that we're seeing this huge improvement in year 3? Do you think, A, he will become a superstar in this league? He's 22 years old. Number 2, do you think he can become an all-star in this league? Number 3, do you think he can be like a third guy on a big 3? So this isn't an all-star. So I think of, in a different term, I think of Horace Grant. I think of not Chris Bosh.
Okay,
Chris
and
Bosh
see, that's
was a
where I got it
perennial
twisted
all-star.
there. Okay.
So, like, if I go third guy on a big 3, I'm trying to say this guy isn't Michael Finley.
Finley was a third guy.
Finley, as far as I know, didn't make an all-star team. He might have made one.
He made one.
Okay, so that takes that into that another level of making an all-star. But like a guy that kind of doesn't make the all-star team, but man, is he's the third best player on a championship team, and he's very valuable in that. Or is he just going to be kind of a nice NBA starter?
Okay.
So I throw this to you guys. Where do you think Josh Green ends up, let's say 3 to 4 years from now?
When you redefine the big 3, I think Michael Finley is a good comp. Somebody that you're like, I mean, look, I think Josh Green would love to have the career of Michael Finley. That's a damn fine career that he had.
Yeah.
He was a 2-time All-Star, by the way.
Okay.
2000 and 2001.
Okay.
And that's somebody you would be pumped to have on your team, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that is possible.
I voted on this poll because I look at Twitter and see Mike's tweets, and I said, you know what? I'm going to be a good teammate. Kevin, did you vote on this poll? So I wanted to be a great teammate, Mike.
It shows how the kind of the chemistry we have. Yeah, you're kind of like our Porzingis.
Oh my gosh! But when I saw it, I was like, "Ooh!"
So
I gave a lot of thought to it, and I did say the third. It was the third option. He's going to be that kind of guy, and that's great. If you have that kind of guy on your team already, this is a really good thing to build on as you go forward. Somebody said Mike needs credit for this because last year you told Josh Green on air to go shoot 500 threes and 500 twos every day or quit basketball.
I might have said something like that.
That sounds true.
I remember saying, like, I think you can become an average 3-point shooter based off of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd shot the ball worse than Josh Green did out of college, but he figured out how to make an NBA 3. It took him longer, but he was still such a great at everything else. Here's the final poll results. And I do like this result. I think this is very where we should have him. 4% voted he's going to be a superstar. Now, remember, if you just take Jalen Brunson right now and Josh Green, at the same age, Jalen Brunson was still at Villanova.
Yeah.
He was a senior at Villanova, and Josh Green should be a senior at Arizona. So there can be still a lot more room for improvement. So I do think 4%, maybe he does develop into a superstar, but most likely no. I totally get that. 32% believe he can develop into an all-star. 32% believe he can develop into like that third guy on a big 3. And what I mean by that is
great.
Right, not an all-star, but that guy you're like, man, he's a really good player. And then 31% said NBA starter.
Which is still, for our drafting track record, that ain't bad.
Right. I wonder, I wonder if 2 to 3 years from now, if we did a redraft of that after everybody's rookie contract is up after 4 years, so after next year, I wonder if the Mavs ended up making a heck of a pick here where he might be considered like a top 10 player in that draft class.
Yeah, the example I used when we were in Phoenix is I think Josh Green is getting to where Tyrese Maxey started. And with still upward mobility room.
I had to look at
22,
Maxey's numbers the other night just to see like where he's at. He's been hurt, but he is averaging 19 points. So like and last year he averaged 17 and a half.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's had a major impact on a very good team, quicker than Josh Green, and they're very different players, but I can't believe how good he is getting. And I'm telling you, the Mavericks don't like signing their draft picks. They usually draft really bad, and then they hate signing them. Before Luka Doncic, the last player they signed that they drafted to a next year contract or a next contract after 4 years was Josh Howard from the 2003 draft. So that's how bad they are, one, at drafting, and then two, at retaining a draft pick that they like.